One game in particular, I could actually name a couple, but one game in particular that I thought showcased this better than any of them was that Dallas and Jacksonville game, right? So Dak Prescott is every bit of a B quarterback, and a lot of days is a B plus. I'll give you that, right? I think this week you saw the difference between a blossoming great one, right, an A plus talent in Trevor Lawrence, and a really, really above average quarterback in Dak, right? Like I said, a B, maybe B plus on a lot of days. Dallas has that game in the bag. It was 27-10 halfway through the third quarter. And then Dak throws a pick, 3 and out on the next drive, and next thing you know, it's a one-possession game. The Jags are rolling. Throwing his A. Jones. They were rolling. But when it matters most, Dak isn't that guy, right? So Dak is mostly fine. When it matters most, though, right, when things get a little tight, he's not that guy. Right? Go look at his pass rating on first and second down. I think on first it's like 98 or something like that. Second is like 112. I don't really care about those numbers as much. They're both good. That's all that matters. Third down, though. 72. 72. How about Trevor Lawrence? No, it's 95. No, I'm not even talking this game. I'm talking for the season. 95. Right, third downs. That's the winning down, right? That's when it matters most. Margins get tighter. Windows shrink. Defenses are pinning their ears back. You're getting pressure in your face. Can you figure it out? Can you make a playoff script? Dak's a fine quarterback. If your goal is exactly what the Cowboys have been for the last 25 years. Compete for the division. Win it 2 out of every 5 years, probably. Compete for a playoff game. Maybe win one at best. Dak can do that really, really well for the next 6 to 8 years. But now this begs the question, is that standard worth what? $50 million next year? Is it? Because at the end of the day, he needs a run game, an offensive line, and a great defense just to get to that level. Right, so he's already going to handicap your salary cap, right? But you need all these pieces just to get him to that B level. Right, when Dak doesn't have all that, Dak's a C quarterback if he does not have a good running game, a good offensive line, and a good defense. Go look it up. I mean, I think I did this rant, a couple months ago at this point.
It had to be like 2 months ago.
A couple months ago at this point. If you go look at games where he was sacked 3 or more times, I mean, his passer rating's in the 70s. He's got like a 2-to-1 interception to touchdown ratio. Like not in the good, like a touchdown interception ratio is like a half. Right? It's not good. It's not good. He's averaging like 180 yards a game when he's sacked more than 3 times. Right? So you need all this stuff around him. Yet you're going to pay him $50 million, right? Like I said, I think Dak is fine if he's making Jimmy G money. If he's making, and we always thought that Kirk Cousins' contract wasn't that great, but actually when you look at it, it's not as bad as it could be, right? It's not like Jared Goff with the Rams bad, right? Jared Goff's number has, as the cap's gone up, it's kind of stabilized and it's not too bad of a contract. Same thing with Kirk Cousins, right? It's not like a Carson Wentz bad deal. But to put all these pieces around, like, Micah still needs paid. Trayvon Diggs still needs paid. Right? Tony Pollard's not even paid yet, and he's your best running back. You're paying your second best running back more than you're paying your best running back. CeeDee Lamb's not even paid yet. Michael Gallup's not even paid yet. Dalton Schultz isn't even making big money. Right? So you have about 6 or 7 guys who are, I don't know if I would say Dalton Schultz and Michael Gallup are more valuable, but I would say CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, those 4 are all, do I say significantly? Let's go more valuable than Dak Prescott. But he's going to make more money. He's going to say the right things at the podium. That's fine. But there's a difference between good and great. There's a difference between Dak and Trevor. Go look at Trevor's last 6 games. 14 touchdowns, 1 pick. 1 pick. 1,680 yards. That's about 280 yards per game. 110 rating, 4-2 record. That's ridiculous. With, I don't want to say subpar talent. This is the NFL. Everybody's got talent. But let's not act like that's a top 12 roster. That's probably closer to 15, 16. Receivers are fine, not great. Running game's below average. Offensive line's fine, but they just lost his left tackle for the season. Defense is okay. Mostly in the front 7. Back end's an absolute mess. Just give up 34 points to Dak, like I said. You know how I feel about Dak. Go look at Dak's last 6 games. Also 4-2 because the team is really, really good around him. But he's, again, 14 touchdowns, but how about 9 picks? How about an 88 passer rating? How How about 230 yards per game, right? So you see the difference, right? And you're like, oh, it's 50 yards. No. It's the picks. It's the ability to move. I mean, there's a Trevor Lawrence throw from yesterday. Rolling out to his left, he's a righty, by the way, in case you don't watch football. He's a righty, which means if you roll out to your right, a lot easier to make a throw. Going to your left, you got to kind of throw across your body, right? Almost jumps in the air, throws across his body, seed, right through a Dallas player who's like hands up, right through his hands to a guy, converts, boom, field goal. Now we're talking overtime. We all know what happens from there. Dak throws a pick six. Right, so Trevor Lawrence is becoming that guy. This is the part of the season that matters most, and he's showing out. Dak is shrinking and being carried by his team. Trevor Lawrence's team is shrinking, and he is carrying his team. Right, that's the difference. And it makes me happy to see, because I'm a big Trevor Lawrence guy. I think coming out, I was like, he's generational. Like, you get one of those every 5 or 6 years. There's one or two of them in the league at one time. Now, we're lucky right now. We got about 5 of them. But I think over the next 7-8 years, you're looking at Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, and you also have Trevor Lawrence. So I think the league is better now that Trevor Lawrence actually has the right coach, is starting to make these strides in the right direction, and he's separating from his draft class. It's not even close. You saw Zach Wilson. I mean, you saw Trevor Lawrence. You make the decision. You see Dak, you see Trevor. That's what the league is. That's what the league is. It's Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the thing with Dallas is this is the definition of cap hell, is it not? I mean, you're way overpaying at quarterback, and you know that you need things to help your quarterback succeed and win, but at the same time, you're overpaying it at running back with Zeke. There's just so many different places where this went wrong.
Offensive line's aging.
Yeah. So this should be a team that we should be giving a Christmas gift to coming up here in the second segment.